Hiya girls, we are Barney and Luki and we are the hot young visionaries behind Truffle Pig Wigs.
And this is Cliffhangers, the unofficial, unrequested and unhinged RuPaul's Drag Race recap show.
The views and opinions expressed on Cliffhangers are from a couple of women who just love drag and have zero real business judging it. If you are not a fan of red-hot acidic critique, turn back now.
He may be tall, but his dick is small. It's Barney.
You heard it here first. She is the social dingleberry of East London. It is Luki Luck. How you doing, Luke?
I'm kind of getting that Sunday depression feeling when you know it's work the next day, you can't enjoy your Sunday because I know it's the last episode next week. So I'm kind of sad before it's even happened.
I cannot believe that we're not getting to see the finale in... Well, ideally, where would you be? I'd be in a packed glory, sweating it out.
Although, last time we went to see something live, I went down the K-hole and there were just loads of birthday parties during the screening, talking over everything, screaming and shouting, and we were just literally wanting to glass them. So I think in the comfort of my own home for now is fine.
That is true. Shout out to the unbearable heterosexual people that had the audacity to shout and scream over Drag Race. Yeah, ideally... Part of the magic of Drag Race for me is being shoulder to shoulder with my queer family, sweating and screaming. For some reason, I always just think of like watching it in a bar. Everyone is dripping with sweat. I don't know why. Just out of fear, out of panic. Is our fave going to go home? Maybe it's tears. But
probably.
That's a big part of Drag Race for me, so it's been difficult. But 1 week to go, gals. 1 week, and then who knows where Cliffhangers will take you next. Will it be UK? Will it be Australia? Will it be America? Will we take a 6-month hiatus? Who knows?
Previously on Drag Race, the divas did stand up. Bimini came out on top, Ahura and Tace were in the bottom, and sadly, our favourite little whore angel, Ahura, left us to go and get dick down.
Feel like pure shit, just want her back. Right, first of all, can we talk? We need to talk about all this jiggery-pokery with Ahura. Did you see on the interwebs? There's a lot of I was going to say tea that has been spilt, but then I realised.
Mama.
No, there's a lot of shit been going down. So, first of all, how dare we get robbed from the fact that actually her leaving line was she came back and she went with Lawrence. How come someone don't know how to flush the toilet after they've taken a shit?
Well, it was fucking one of yous.
Disgusting! She did arguably the most iconic internet meme line ever, and they cut it out. Disgusting! I don't think.
Cut it out.
But the most interesting secret of them all is that they have to clear... If anyone's ever mentioned on the show, they have to clear it with the person. I guess it's kind of like a contractual thing. And they called up Ahura's nan and played her what Ahura had said in the comedy challenge. And it was Ahura's nan that refused to have it on TV and got it beeped out.
Yeah.
So actually, Ahura got sent home by her own blood. And she was like, do you remember on the runway? She was like, actually, my nan is like super filthy. Like, we speak like this all the time to each other. And then to find out, actually, the nan was like, not on telly, we don't.
That's between you and me.
Not on the beeb. But yeah, just absolutely devastated. You don't need to hear me say it anymore. Can't believe we've seen her go. Cannot believe that our top 4, the United King dolls, we won't get to see a finale performance of it. But
luckily for them, they're already booked in on the UK tours.
And
UK tours!
3 hours sold out.
Yeah.
Read it and weep, bitch.
So, yes, moving on. We are after Ahura's elimination. First things first, Amaryllis. I thought Ellie's blue tear stains were gorgeous.
Absolutely stunning. They were like a Galliano little detail.
Pierre et Gilles.
Very Italian Vogue, very.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I've never heard this before, and I hope that this is going to be on t-shirts. Taste the Tasmanian Devil Energizer Bunny. Loved that. That needs to go on some merch.
That's a 90s style tattoo if ever I saw one.
100%. A little road runner going down your bum crack.
I honestly cannot believe Lawrence is still going on about this shit. When he was like, but what if it was me? So what if it was you? Like, dude,
you would have gone home, bitch.
Yeah, like, where does all this, like, sort of sisterly, like, lack of sisterlessness? I just cannot.
Well, I thought that was the actual real crux of the situation. I was so glad that she said that when she was like, what if it was me? It was like, well, that's really what we're coming down to, isn't it?
Well, yeah, because you can't be this hot just because Ahora's on.
The reason you're so hot is because you thought, actually, I was quite shit last week, and to be fair, it could have been me that he sent home. So actually, it was.
Yeah, he just worried he's not going to be the number one Scottish queen.
What I thought was really fucking funny, though, is that, like, when I was kind of ish on, not on Lawrence's side last week, but, like, I did understand where she was coming from. And then what you forget is that, obviously, this is the next episode, but actually it's just, like, 10 minutes later. So when she started up again, I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
You joking me?
A week later, and she's still going on about this shit as if like all this time has passed and she just can't let it go.
Oh no, but don't worry, that is also true.
Yeah. And then this time when she brought it up again, I was like, behave. Like, you've got to let this go for your own sanity. And you would think that'd be the last time. No. Just wait to watch the rest of the episode. Whenever anyone is like having an argument or like getting heated and then they end it with hen, what the fuck? Like, how fucking dare you, honey? Like, what? No. It takes all the sting out of it, doesn't it?
Well, it's like just doing a little exclamation mark at the end of a text makes it just like, if it was feeling prickly, this is a softener for you.
Absolutely. My favourite thing that was there was just getting to see that vulnerability and softness and humbleness from Tace. If you notice the lifted lace all around her temples, that was nice to see.
Wow, you're really bringing that up on the pod.
Yeah.
Wow, okay. So, it is a new day in the workroom and it is the top 4. Did you see it very quickly showed 3 bejeweled little finger wave-esque wiglets? I was thinking, did Joe Black leave half her wardrobe here?
I thought this exact same thing. And I was trying to work out who it could possibly be. And I thought maybe, I feel like I've seen Bimmers in a finger wave and maybe it's hers.
But there were 3 of them. We'll put a pic up.
Maybe the ghost of JB never leaves.
Yeah.
Maybe she's haunting that Drag Race workroom. I just love as well now that we've got, we're really seeing the girls' characters. Because I just love that, like, Tace, whenever anyone's coming for them, you can bet your bottom dollar that Tace will just be screaming with laughter like a hyena. He makes every situation so much worse. Just like someone will say something, and he's just like, nah! Like, in the background.
She is the Pauly D of drag.
Truly. And also as well, what about Bimini suddenly coming through with all these, now that she's feeling very secure with that crown, she's coming through with all these zingers. She said, it's time to rely on talent, looking directly in Ellie's eyes, which feels very Lawrence.
Very pointed.
Very pointed. And then she was like, it's time to do it, and badges won't be won. Again, at Ellie. It's like, fuck you hell. Come on, Bims. We're finally getting her villain origin story. One thing I will say about Ellie Diamond is she seems really light and positive. Like, after Lawrence Chaney coming for her ear, nose and throat constantly, and she sent home Ahura, which is obviously going to be tough.
What? She didn't send home Ahura.
But
Ahura didn't do hilariously, and
RuPaul
sent her home.
Yeah, I know, but
everyone needs to keep saying that.
The narrative, the production story that they've built
that
up
is not my narrative, Ellie.
But I think that actually she was like kind of having a lull, being quite light about it, and I thought that's a good way to go in.
I very much enjoyed Rue's video message with all the dropping of the EastEnders puns, and I've got to say, some were pretty good. Granted.
I used to watch EastEnders so religiously when I was younger, like it was such a thing, and I now haven't seen it for maybe 20 years.
Yeah, I used to watch it in what I think is the glory days, with when all the Slaters came,
Patsy Palmer,
Tiffany and stuff.
Ricky.
Yeah, all of that, Sanjay and Geeta. But I feel like I haven't watched it in any of the ones that are the more pop culture-y moments. Like, actually, no, I saw Yes I Am.
I think I lost interest because there was no Batman in it. Did I make this up, or was Dr. Truman a Batman in the end? Or did he get with Kat Slater? Because that is...
Wow, I don't know.
I feel like there was no gays in it, and then I was like, what is there here for me? Apart from Pam St Clement. Come on, behave.
The original
Ziva.
And then Rue comes in looking like Dave Chappelle's crackhead character. I am putting a picture up because I thought, can I say that? And actually, when I looked by the side by side, I was like, there's no way I can't say it.
I let out a laugh as soon as he came in. I was like, why is he dressed like me in the queue at Hot Topic? Like, he's got like a beanie placed on the side, a H&M beanie no less, placed on the side of his head. And I was like, he's very much serving you Prince Philip glam. He looks like he's about 3 seconds away from dying. Just like, what is going on? Like, who is styling him? And I can't believe that they go so hard on the lighting and the makeup, obviously when he's on the main stage as in drag. But then when he comes in the workroom, they just like wheel him in anything, and like they could have throw a bit of concealer under the old girl's eyes. She hasn't slept in days.
Give her some CC cream.
I know.
I've got a theory though. I reckon when they came back, Rue's suitcase got lost, and they've just been having to.
Well, they didn't have any budget to buy many clothes.
Some stuff together. Yeah, they spent all the budget on.
Just had a rummage down.
Cassidy.
Had a rummage down Help the Aged.
Yeah.
For a couple of elasticated waistbands. Each look every single week gets more and more confusing for me, but yeah. I'm into it.
So the mini challenge this week is the Puppet Bitch Fest. And why? Because everybody loves puppets.
They do.
Do you think there's anything random about this, about the doling out of them, or have they just got old Alan Carr hidden in the box passing girls' puppets that production have chosen for them?
Interesting. I've never thought about that before. I would think probably it's not that deep. Like they just get who they get, but actually the fact that
Lawrence got Ellie. And I feel like things like that have happened in the past. Like,
100%.
Quinky Dink.
Darian Lake and Bendela. Darian Lake got Bendela, didn't he?
Yes,
and it was
yes.
That's definitely been set up. I always think that I'm going to love this mini challenge much more than I do, because I think actually, like, once you've done the reading challenge, you're essentially just like reading someone again with a puppet. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like actually you've probably lost a bit of heat by this point. How did you think they did on the puppets?
I really liked Tace's puppet. I thought it was really cute the way they recreated her jacket.
The puffer.
Yeah.
So cute. Well, even as a puppet, you're a fashion killer. Okay, I see you. I love that Ellie was like, oh no, Lawrence has got me. I'm scared she might be a bit personal. It was like, you think? She is savage to you without the guise of a puppet.
Yeah.
Like, without a fucking fist up your arsehole.
I thought Ellie's was okay. She had the kind of fast talkingness of Tace, but you could just see in Rue's eyes, like, Rue cannot understand what you are saying. Not one single word of your, like, Scottish does.
I would have loved to see sort of like
Welsh.
Lawrence, Ellie, Tace and Ginny Lemon, just like all like talking really fast, just doing this challenge and just like nodding along like, sure. I thought this challenge, rather than a reflection on the girls, I thought maybe this challenge is just a bit played out. And that actually it's like, it's not different enough from the reading challenge. And especially when you've just done a comedy challenge and you're like essentially roasting people, I just think like it's not different enough and you could probably fill it with something else.
Yeah. I thought it was weird considering that later on Bimini mentions that her mum is Scottish, that she couldn't do Lawrence's accent for Love Nor Money.
I would love to hear Ellie's version of Tace's Welsh accent again as well, because I was like, this is mental.
Yeah, Rue had no idea what was
But I did think it was good that Lawrence can... I don't know whether this was a bit affected and a bit put on, but I thought she really can laugh at herself. And I think if you're a big bitch, as Lawrence is, I think the thing that softens it is if you can be like, I am stupid, please laugh at me. And I felt like she was given that energy. Yeah.
Well, she did let us know that that's kind of how she stopped the bullies, was by being able to kind of find comedy. So that's how you get through me, isn't it? Yeah. You fucking bitch!
I'll just try and laugh.
So... Bim Bimmer is the winner of the mini challenge. Then RuPaul reveals that the maxi challenge this week will be acting in Beastenders. Very exciting.
Very exciting.
I want to do an EastEnders acting challenge.
Maybe we will.
Maybe we will.
Yeah, straight away I was like, this is so quintessentially British, but also really fucking ties into drag as well. What springs to mind is when they did Downton Abbey. There's like, rather than there be like really iconic separate characters, I don't actually watch it, but it's more of like a general, everyone's posh and old. Whereas with EastEnders, there's so many standout, like amazing characters that with 4 people, you know, I can name 10 really fucking amazing characters to play.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, you're just, it's got the range.
So the characters are Scat Slater, Thought Bottom, Karen Bitchell and Phyllis Bitchell. Who would you have wanted?
Oh, I knew you were going to ask this question. I think I would have wanted the Phil Mitchell character. Just because, to me, there's nothing funnier than a beautiful woman playing ugly. So I think I'd want that.
Interesting. I would definitely want Scat Slater, but who I'd actually want would be Pat Butcher.
100%. I also, as well, as soon as they came out in that necklace, the first thing I did was like Google. I was like, is this on sale anywhere? This Scat necklace. I was like, need to buy this. I died when Tace was like, rough and ready. Have you seen Lawrence? Rough.
Yeah, Lawrence was the only choice for the Phyllis
Truly.
Mitchell.
Tace is the queen of like sugary shade. Do you know what I mean? Like, nothing she says seems that offensive because she says it all with a smile. It was way too easy for them to dole out the parts, and I think that's a real testament to how good they all are. First of all, I thought it was a good script and there was good characters, but also the fact that they were all just like, yeah, I could do this, and it all just really came with ease, I thought really showed that they're all really sitting in confidence at the moment. Because quite often in the American one, when it gets to this sort of level, people are freaking out that like the slightest bad character choice and you're out.
Oh yeah, making them do auditions in the US, which I actually love.
Oh my! Well, it's always been your dream to just audition a full show, hasn't it? To get your X Factor fantasy. But can we talk about Bimini's breastplate?
Why are they so aggressive?
Why are they? They're like two stuck-on cement bread rolls.
They're like torpedoes.
And I also loved as well that I saw a side-by-side of Ginny in a breastplate and Tace in a breastplate, and they're two different ones, both Bimini's, and she's got like them in two different sizes, like a sort of like nice D cup that's just aggressively sticking out, and then like an F cup that's sticking out. It's like, fucking hell. Like,
what was Tace in? The more modest one?
The more modest, the more
The
demure.
way she was slapping them about as well. That is literally what men do with tits.
I can't relate.
No. Then the dolls and the divas are gathered around the telly for a soap opera masterclass with HRH, Natalie Sonia Cassidy.
I thought, oh, that's Sonia. She's an handsome woman, isn't she?
I thought she gave good advice. I thought she was fun.
One of the first things I wrote was 0 useful tips.
Oh, really?
I thought she was fun, but it just cracked me up. It's like getting fine dining cooking lessons from Ronald McDonald.
Hey, she is an actress. She's working actress more than you are, Barney.
Truly. Well, now there's the tea. Someone's getting hired in a pandemic. One thing I'm absolutely obsessed with is that the US got Anne Hathaway.
Yeah.
We got her, and I wish they'd swapped them round. I would have liked to see the American queens. Sonia pops up on their screen and they're like, what?
Yeah, cut to like Rose in the confessional. Oh my God, I love Natalie Cassidy.
Oh my God, she's my favourite.
So exciting.
I grew up watching her. We don't think. And also I love that like it was Anne Hathaway was like you've caught me at this moment in full glam in my Bel Air mansion, and Sonia was like, here I am at the kitchen table with me shredded wheat in the background.
She's a girl's girl.
She actually is a girl's girl because, as she said some lovely lesbian storylines.
Exactly.
I like that she said masterclass in inverted commas. Like even the sheer introduction of her as an acting teacher was a joke.
I wish they had called it an Arster class.
Get your mind out of the gutter, Luki. They're trying to learn the fine art of theatre.
Bubbles in the fridge.
I just love that also that she, for an actress, she has zero vocab to discuss any of these things. It was literally like hearing someone teach acting that has never acted before in their life. She's like, I'm going to give you an emotion, be it.
Well, she's got to talk in
Fantastic.
layman's terms, isn't she?
Wow, is that what the kids are calling it these days? Layman's. I absolutely love this whole section because I just thought this is classic British drag. Our old girl popping up, making them say stupid shit and then leaving. I thought, This is fantastic TV, isn't it? And then we head over to, what was the pub called?
The Queen Dick, which was like, you've got me, take my money, I'm sold.
Yeah. We head over to the Queen Dick for the filming of Beastenders. First of all, you're going to say, oh, I loved Michelle's hair.
Well, no, first of all, I have to point out that here's where I felt like an absolute fucking idiot, because I've only just realised that Michelle must be wearing wigs on the judging panel. Why did I assume it was her natural hair?
What? Why?
Because right now she has a ponytail and just has the silver highlights coming from the pony, not at the hairline. But whenever she's on the judging, the silver is at the hairline, meaning those heads are not the same.
But
so you didn't notice either?
No, but are you talking about right now as in like in her Instagram photos and stuff?
I'm talking about right now on the Beastenders set. Why wouldn't I not think that Michelle might be wearing wigs?
On a drag show?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. So that put me in my place. And I'm in now, I guess, in turn putting you in your place because you didn't even realise.
I don't see her like that. I just see the beauty for what it is. I just take it. I don't question, you know?
Whatever helps you sleep at night.
But loved Michelle's hair.
Yeah.
Wig or not. Wig or not. I can't believe how fucking good they all looked. As soon as I saw all 4 of them, I was like, they all look so incredible. And I wonder whether they were told to bring an EastEnders outfit.
I don't think anyone has that Dot Cotton set up just knocking about in their home.
True.
I was very into the Phyllis outfit, the polar neck, shiny coat and chain. I was like, I'd wear that.
Yeah, and it was like a weird sort of like chin length.
Like Cluedo cards.
Yeah, very, very into that. And I just thought that this is like costume done well. It's like, I would look at them all and be able to tell that they were in EastEnders.
Apart from taste, maybe.
Straight away, I was like, oh, not Lawrence cracking under the pressure again. I can't watch it. I find it too stressful.
Yeah, it's like an out-of-body experience.
Yeah, and I thought straight away as well, you can't even like it wasn't even like he had time to work himself up before he was freaking out. And I was like, oh.
Are you astral projecting to a reality in which you're good at comedy challenges? Because...
Oh, wow. Is she funny in Scotland, but not? It doesn't really translate well because this is now what, like the 6th opportunity for her to be funny that she hasn't been funny in, and she is a comedy queen. She's so funny in her like talking heads and stuff.
But did she ever claim to be a comedy queen, or is that what people have told her because they laugh at her when she's like talking to them? Has she ever claimed to be a comedian?
Well, I mean, yeah, first of all, how about we stop fucking boxing them up to be... We'll speak about this later.
Take her out. Take her shopping.
We'll speak about this later because the limitations that you place on a queen. But what I'm talking about more is that, like, she is super fucking funny all the time until she gets into a challenge. So why can't she translate that talent into being funny when she needs to be?
Yeah.
It's stress.
Well, it's because everyone is always like, haha, you're so funny. And then it's like, oh shit, I have to be funny now. And then that's all she can think about.
Also, as my fellow thespians know this more than anything, it was absolutely fucking terrifying. Any actor knows this exact moment when you're having a conversation with someone and you can look into their eyes and that you can tell that they don't know what their lines. And when she looked at Ellie and she was looking at her and she was just panicking so much and she was like staring through her because you knew that she didn't know her lines. When they do that, first of all, I really don't agree with Ellie blaming Lawrence, because if you know your lines, you know your lines. The only thing that's difficult is if they're fucking up the order of the lines and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was weak dick energy to be like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing because Lawrence is fucking up. I get that it can fuck up your energy a bit, but what is terrifying is when someone looks at you and they are like projecting their panic onto you, because then you're like, oh, we're going down.
My favourite bit was when Bimini and Taze were just like plotting and scheming side of stage like Cockney witches.
Yeah. They were just brewing over a cauldron, like how they're going to get that double crowning win.
We're doing it for London.
Oh, please. It's so frustrating to watch like people bomb when you know that they're going to be good. And you could see I think what was so difficult with Lawrence was that she'd have like glimpses when you're like, you're fucking great. And then she'd panic and be shit. And then it was like that. It was a bit like the Shakespeare challenge. When it was just like, you could see that it was like just a snowball effect, that as soon as people start panicking and as soon as people start like freaking out, that like then it changes the dynamics of the room. But didn't fucking change it for Tace and Bimini though, did it? Which is why, how very dare, later on. But we'll get onto that. But at this point, I did think in my head, I was like, well, this is it now. I was like, Lawrence and Ellie are going to be in the bottom and Lawrence is going to send Ellie packing. And how about that for TV?
How about that indeed?
Or, even worse, Ellie will send Lawrence packing.
I really liked it when Lawrence was like fluffing over the lines and then Bimini was just like stuck in this like crazy like twisted pose and face at the bar. Just all I can see is thighs and face. We have now moved into Elimination Day and the dolls have received letters from home.
Oh, come on. How would you feel I feel like you'd be given Tace energy if you got a letter from home.
I just thought, it's so refreshing to see Tace and Lawrence not cry.
Although one thing that I did think is, I want to see some tears from Tace just because I thought it'd kind of be a bit beautiful.
What, take her down a peg?
No! But actually, I thought one thing that you can really tell with Tace, which actually in turn nearly made me cry, was that such a testament to when you just have supportive parents. Like, hearing her parents, she's obviously so close with her parents, and hearing them just, and then she also said as well, they've supported everything I've ever done and just been like, be you. And so hearing that, her reaction kind of made me believe that that's the sort of thing that she hears all the time. So she was like, oh, it's just my parents like loving on me. It's cool.
Yeah.
So that's why she didn't cry. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it didn't really feel very high stakes for her. But as soon as Bimini started crying, I was like, oh, you've got me. You've got me. Always Bimini bringing up the important conversations, just talking about like how important it is for queer kids to have support of their family. Like, if you're a parent, is that not what you'd want to see? Like being like, regardless of how you feel about the sissies getting dressed up, like, wouldn't you be like, yeah, I want to show my kid that I'm like fully in support of everything they do.
I loved being reminded of the word kutch, because it reminded me of the valleys when the girls got sheeps tattooed on their foo-foos. Check out the valleys if you haven't. It's basically like an even more rowdy version of Geordie Shore.
Yeah. I'd love to see a Valleys Taste crossover, to be honest.
Yeah.
The Valleys. When they were like, oh, here's a photo of Lawrence with his mum, I was like, I'm sorry to this man. I do not know this man. Who was that person in the photo? They showed a photo of Lawrence when they were about 14.
Yeah.
And
I just really wish Ellie could have taken a lint roller to that cap before wearing it on TV.
I also love that when the letter was being read out for Lawrence, it was like, remember everyone who ever doubted you and said that you would never succeed. And it was like, all right, thanks, Mum.
Yes, hey parents, reminding you to keep that venom going.
Imagine if your mum was like, and Barney, remember, you bloat when you stress eat, and our side of the family doesn't deal with wheat well, and remember you're on telly. Do you know what I mean? Like, just like really, like, you're actually supposed to be building me up here.
I thought it was more kind of like, remember those fuckers that doubted you, like,
Oh, just bug off!
maybe it was, but the way it was like read out was a bit more like, and do you remember that like actually loads of people didn't think you were going to be anything? So, but did you, Mum?
I call shade.
Very nice of the girls to shout out your mum's house and Scott Whippy on the beeb. Bring it to your mum's house. Mum's house.
Mums.
Shout out the nest.
Oh my God. If you grew up in East London from, I would say, what year do you think that started? 2013.
No
2013. If you've ever been, didn't it start as well at Punk?
Yeah, me and Anita did burlesque there.
What? Absolutely mental. A staple of queer nightlife, your mum's house for East London. Absolutely fucking fantastic.
What about when Ellie rubbed Taster's eyebrows, which I assume were glued down?
How very... The sabotage. I
call shade.
Do you know what? That actually made me kind of foam at the mouth a bit, because I don't know about Taste. Taste is a nub queen, isn't she? She's just got
No, she got full brows.
I'm sure she's just a tiny little front bit.
Well, just then she had the full thing across.
But I think she'd drawn on her brows. That's why it was even shadier. Because
why would you draw on boy brows to then do makeup for girl brows?
Because she draws on her boy brows. She's a nubbing queen, but then she'll draw on the tail as a boy.
But then why would she be annoyed if Ellie rubbed them off when she's like, about to get up in the makeup? I thought the whole thing was that she had like messing up her glued down brows.
Well, I mean, either way, don't fuck with my brows. Like brows to me are the number one worst thing about doing drag. I hate doing them. And if on the beeb in a competition, honestly, that's fight and talk.
We're just going to take a quick break. So see you on the flip side. Oi, Maggie!
What do you want?
I've seen you walking up and down the market all day, thinking you're all that.
I ain't doing this with you, Keith. Not today.
That ain't even your hair.
Yes, it is! I bought it from Truffle Pig Wigs. It's my hair. I bought it. Wig! Get yourself a Truffle Pig wig!
You too can get yourself a lovely lace front wig from trufflepigwigs.co.uk. Use code Cliffhangers for 15% off.
15% off, that's right. Stare and gawk if you want to. Because I didn't just become a little bit of a pig. I became a total truffle pig.
It's that time again when we give a shout out to another incredible business here on Instagram and on the World Wide Webs. And this week it is No Basic Bombshell, who make amazing like statement jewellery. And they do a lot of like amazing laser cut work, which you may have seen on the Queens. I've seen a Whore and Taste rocking some gorgeous ones, and also Bimini and Barbs. They also do this range of incredible, like, geode earrings. I'm sure you've seen them. They are hot on Insta at the moment. I'm seeing them all around, and they are absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, go head over to No Basic Bombshell and go show them some love. Hope you gals are hydrated and moisturised. We are back again and ready to talk the main stage.
Okay. Now that we've started to really notice RuPaul's appearance and stuff.
Can you believe what in the ice skating madness was going on?
I really don't like it, Kath.
So first of all, you've worn those shoes and that hair before. First of all.
Call it out.
Are you joking me? It's literally a bit of black lycra and then a scrap end of some sequin.
That is
without
literally...
without a hem.
She has double fucked us.
Front and rear.
Because that is, not only is she just wearing a leotard on stage, she's got a bit of fabric wrapped around it. It's just a leotard with a piece of fabric.
I really hate it, Kathy.
Is she having a laugh with us?
Something's going on. Do you know what I think, though, which very unrightly so and very annoyingly, I think she's like, I've earned my stripes. I don't need to dress up. But it's
I've earned my diva shit.
You don't need to dress up, but remember that you demand that all of the queens that come on that runway spend thousands and thousands of pounds and have so much creative energy going to everything that they bring, otherwise they get sent home.
If you're the biggest, most famous and richest drag queen in the world, like, when you can't even look better than these queens that you're having a go at.
You have access to literally all the resources. You could just be like, okay, I'm just going to get a designer to design absolutely everything, rather than these fucking little disco dance costumes that you rock it. Well,
they look like something you'd get like on eBay for like £9.
100%. They are literally like, you know, like the house girls to do the ballroom costumes.
Oh, I love them.
They literally look like them. Like,
as
just
if
a little
she wishes
girl.
they looked like them. They're fucking
You could
sick.
never. I'm lost as to what's going on there.
What was the reason?
And then joined by Michelle, Graham, and Mickey.
I can't believe the audacity.
After we were getting so hopeful in the WhatsApp, like, oh, speculation, who could it be?
Letitia Dean, June Brown.
Literally any of them. Jessie Wallace.
So exciting. They could have literally... And also, like, all of them faded starlets. They would have hopped up on to be a guest judge in a second.
I thought maybe it was like a bubble thing at first, but if Graham's on every other week, he certainly ain't bubbling up with the fucking cast of Drag Race.
No, 100%.
And it wasn't even Danny Dyer, because I looked in the credits. It was just like someone doing a Danny Dyer...
I reckon
voice.
someone pulled out last minute and they were just like, we need to do something comedy with it. But
still waiting.
Yeah, but still, bring in fucking Natalie Cassidy.
Exactly.
She ain't doing much.
Even just on like a screen again, like she could just be there.
Didn't like that. Didn't find it funny as well. Didn't.
No, not one time did I find it funny.
Yeah, and also like Pam St Clement. Is she still alive?
I hope so.
I think she might be dead.
We'll have a check.
Is she still?
I felt like RuPaul tried so hard to say Graham rather than Graham.
Graham.
And yes, Graham Norton.
I thought this week as well, Graham Norton, I don't know how old he is. I never ask a lady's age. But he's really managed to keep a trim little physique on him, hasn't he?
Tight little bod.
Yeah, absolutely tight little bod. I thought, congrats, Graham. Not that we applaud keeping a tight little physique, but I just noticed he's got the body of a little gymnast. Both him and Alan Carr are much better judges than Rue and Michelle for me.
And much better than I gave them credit for and kicked off about their inclusion when we first found out about it.
Oh, how embarrassing for us.
I know.
I was literally foaming at the mouth. I was like, if you don't get Jodie Harsh on there, I am going to tear this place down.
Two old white men.
Yeah, I was like, Lily Savage. Yeah, literally like foaming. But they are actually
Fantastic.
fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
So if
Congrats.
anything, get rid of Michelle.
On the runway this week, we have Panto Dames. So what would your look have been?
Well, I actually really struggled with this because, first of all, I want to call out that I believe when they send the list out for Drag Race, they are willingly obtuse, but then quite often you find out that actually then what they label it as on the runway is a bit different. And I think what you can see from this is that they asked them to bring pantomime drag, not panto dame.
Yeah.
Because there's just no way that Taste would have not brought a dame if they'd asked for a dame. I don't think. That just seems stupid. So I think that I would have done completely different if they would have asked for panto rather than panto dame.
Give us both of what you got.
Oh, okay.
Go quickly.
Well, yeah. So, panto dame, to be honest, not inspiring at all to me. I just thought that I would done a huge, like, overtly padded, like, panier, like, double hip, almost like a tabletop, like widow twanky, and I would have just done it all in primary colours. I would have done a big one of them wigs where, you know, like it's sort of like a huge bun on top and then 2 huge buns on the side. Like just like super cartoony, ridiculous, ugly drag. And maybe like, and then I would have done as well like loads of like magic tricks. I would have like, you know, like Widow Twanky's always like pulling things out, and I would have done that and just done the stupidest panto dame ever. But again, not very inspiring. And if it was panto, I was thinking maybe I'd do like a maybe do like a panto horse and just like come on and just have like a full like costume,
full ass out, just the front half.
Like a full. I would, whatever it was, it would be fucking stupid and it wouldn't be glam at all. What about you?
Well, my first thought was like one of the ugly sisters.
Yeah.
So yeah, like massive panniers.
So no drag.
Like very kind of based on like French Revolution like shapes. So like massive, like the biggest wig in the world. Massive hips, and then just all the most like contrasting and clashing like colours, patterns and materials, just to be like the most garish thing, like maybe even a prosthetic nose, like big wart, just like an abomination basically.
100% like as ugly as possible. I also 100% need to give a shout out to, if you haven't seen, Sisters Panto Dame on Insta, which was
And Ahora's was really good.
And Ahora's, yeah. I thought both of them like absolutely smoked it. I thought they were, if I'd seen them on the runway, I think I probably would have gone crazy because I thought they were both brilliant. And Ahura as well, I like kind of her caption that she was sort of like, oh, like I'm really like stepping outside of my bubble, because she actually did look kind of gross. Like, not gross, but like she looked kind of, it's just, it's almost shocking to see her.
Yeah, it wasn't like makeup artistry.
Yeah, it's almost shocking to see her do sort of like non-glam makeup. I was like, oh wow, like she, I thought that she'd give you more of an Ellie Diamond, like, oh, it's got whispers of panto, but it's still beautiful. But actually I thought she, out of all of them, really gave you like Dame.
Yeah.
Like I'm putting on face paint with my fingers, which was great. So first up, we have Lawrence Chaney. And what did you think of Lawrence?
Well, she was giving us pastel panto queen realness, aka widow wanky. I really liked the accessories, because that's very panto, isn't it? Like you can tell exactly this woman works in a sewing shop or whatever. But I thought the makeup wasn't right. That was just her normal makeup. Like panto, well, let me tell you, you wouldn't be able to see those eyebrows 10 rows back at the Queen's Theatre, Barnstable.
Thank you. Thank you. The whole point of panto makeup is that it is garish.
Yeah, you need
like
to be able to see the face from like the back of the theatre.
Yeah.
So yeah, pastel eyebrows aren't really going to help.
I thought as well, like, was it that different from her usual? She does camp drag.
Yeah,
so it was
it's
just
basically
like,
the same.
It was, her makeup was like very glam and vampy. Do you know what I mean? She was doing sort of like
glampy.
Yeah, very glampy, but sort of like lovely berry toned eye. And my biggest problem with it was that she did lovely like mint vintage waves. It was like, that's not remotely.
I wouldn't call it lovely vintage waves. It was just kind of up at the front and out at the sides.
But it was waves. That's why
the wig was waved.
But do you know what I mean? Like that doesn't scream panto dame to me. I don't think of like a panto dame as being glam.
No.
And I just thought that was the first, seeing her face, seeing her makeup and her wig come around the corner, just being like, if you cut her head off, you would not be able to tell that she was supposed to be doing panto dame at all. That could literally just be like plonked on any of her runways.
Just quickly, do we need to big up the whole idea of British pantomime for the fact that they have women playing men and men playing women, and that's always just been a thing? Because they always have a young girl playing like Prince Charming or something.
I don't know whether this is actually true or whether this is like a old wives' tale, but the term drag comes from Shakespeare, which means dressed as girl.
Dressed resembling a girl.
Dressed resembling a girl. I mean, here we go. Already Chinese whispers about what it means.
But I think it's one of those ones that is a bit too convenient to be true.
yeah, absolutely. Because I've also read that it comes from Polari, but that's a story for another day.
Come on then, how many truffles for Cheney?
I put if they didn't have the bloomers on, which were barely visible, but the leg was bloomed. I wouldn't have even really. This could have been any of her campy drag, so I gave her a 6. But even thinking about it now, I could go 5. To be honest, 5 truffles.
I gave her a 7.5.
What?
So I thought, like, if you took the head off, I thought it was very, very panto-y.
If you took 25% of the outfit off.
So yeah, I gave it was marked higher because of the great use of the like sewing elements, and it's like that's telling a story from at the back of this stage.
Yeah.
I'm very strict with my rules, so it's like I'm picturing myself at a pantomime. Can I see you?
Respectfully disagree, but sure.
That's fine.
Next up, we have Tace, and like
Fairy godmother.
And like Natalie Imbruglia, I am torn with this one.
Wig by Paris Hair.
Yeah, I know, gorgeous, wasn't it? And the way that it was, I don't know whether Paris would have done the stoning.
Accoutrement.
But she does actually stone sometimes, doesn't she? But the stoning was gorgeous on it as well.
Yeah, it's kind of real, like as if a wig and a crown ran at each other and just like all got broken up.
Because the thing is, I think with stoning as well, like you can fuck up a beautiful wig with bad stoning. So it's a real test.
Yeah, I really liked how the crown was kind of
in it.
Part of it.
Yeah. And shout out to the iconic double reference of double Kylie Minogue. Double Queen Kylie.
Why double?
Well, I mean, what I saw was half Showgirl Tour, that gorgeous blue outfit, and then half her as Le Fille Verte in Moulin Rouge.
Okay, fine.
That sort of like little. It just reminded me of that with the wings and the thing. It just reminded me of her giving you
Kylie Minogue, as Graham said.
little fairy glam.
Yeah, I love the Showgirl reference because that picture is just always on my pin boards. That lovely blue. Fancy. And the feathers were so nice.
Not a chicken feather in sight. And I just thought this is where I was like, someone's got to be again the sacrificial lamb to the annoying rules of TV that like she's clearly been told bring a panto outfit and she's gone fairy godmother. You wouldn't bring a fairy godmother costume if you'd been asked to bring a dame costume.
I really hated the wings, Kath.
Did you? What? Because they
were flimsy and shit.
But that's what I liked. That was what saved the outfit. Not saved it. I love the outfit, but that's something. I thought all of it was a bit hokey pokey and rickety, and that's what I liked about it because it's panto. I wouldn't want her to come out in like gorgeous, like Victoria. Not that anything's gorgeous about Victoria's Secret, but like, do you know what I mean? Like big, like sort of ornate wings. They were more sort of like little girl dressed up as a fairy.
I wasn't into it. I have to respectfully disagree. I felt like if you're giving me ostrich feathers, you don't have to give me a Smithy's wing set. I gave her 7.5 truffles.
Well, I mean, it's still pretty high for saying that. I gave her 8 truffles. And if I can get...
What took it down from 10? The white nose contour?
Ooh. If I can get confirmation that they were asked to bring just a panto outfit, then... maybe it would be a 9. Who knows?
Before we get to Bimmers, I must say I've got to definitely be bringing the Wednesday legs into my repertoire.
Oh my God, absolutely. I thought very annoying that he is the guest, but what a fantastic fucking line. And next up we have Bimini Bomb Boulash.
Pantomime baby doll in weekday wigs.
Giving you the spirit of... Who did she remind you of coming down that runway? She reminded me so much, the way she was walking and everything, of Lemon as the little...
Oh, I loved that!
You know, coming down as the little pageant girl. It's so much. Like, she... Not only was the outfit fucking fantastic, but selling it, like that walk and stuff, I was just like, that is panto.
I loved the shoes.
Yeah, me too. I just loved... I'm going to be transparent. I loved all of it.
It's such a shame that 2 people did the It's Behind You joke. But then as I wrote that, I thought... Isn't it weird that all 4 of them didn't do it?
Can you believe that they both... It was like in the same font as well?
Yeah.
Both wrote the same thing on their butt.
That used to be my favourite bit, or the like call and response in pantomime.
What are the odd... Oh, I absolutely love panto, but my worst fucking thing is when they pull people up on stage.
Oh no!
Every single time I'm like, I'm drunk. Like, I need to just be sat down.
I just thought she looked terrifying, but I was very into it.
And that was a weekday wigs. That little blonde number. Loved it. And also as well, just like baby doll is something that's like so overly done in people's drag anyway. So I just thought like having that weird sort of like donut bun And then I just thought all of it was perfect. It was like a perfect, like sort of like little girl length as well. Just thought that wig was fucking great.
But then, if you're going to go down the stickler route, is a baby a dame?
I think that was more proof that they didn't ask them to bring a dame, because she was obviously giving you like spoiled little child.
I think if RuPaul isn't fully sure what a pantomime dame is, then they should all be loud.
Yeah. It's like, if he doesn't know, then who's to say that any of them are dressed up as a dame? But I gave Bimini a 9.
Me
9
too.
truffles, because I thought the assignment was done.
Yeah.
She came to work today.
Sure.
And next up we have Ellie Diamond.
Royal Queen Pantomime Dame Realness.
Now, maybe very controversiale, this didn't say panto to me at all.
No?
What I couldn't really see is the link to, like, panto. I thought she was just giving you, like, old cartoon monarchy.
Yeah. Like, we are fans of edging here at the pod. But what I'm not a fan of is seeing the edge of your hoop skirt.
Edgy Diamond.
I don't want to see the edge of the hoop.
I
Like,
know.
pad it out.
Get a little bit of fringe on that Surrey, you know? Like
Surrey?
something. Surrey with a fringe on top. Oh, pick up a book, Luki.
And such an odd length.
Yeah, and I thought, do you know what? Like, it was well done. I mean, I feel like this is just like the repeated. Every single week, I'm like, I don't like it, but it was well constructed. But also, when Rue was like, Tudor, I don't even know her. It was like, Tudor? She's in like a mini skirt? Like, what about that says Tudor to you?
No.
Like, what, just because she's got some ermine cuffs? So I gave Ellie Diamond I've put 7, but I'm going to take it down to a 6, truffles, just because it didn't read panto to me.
I gave it a 7 as well. I thought, yeah, I can get it, but it's just not very original, like, Queen of Hearts and stuff. And, well, maybe this is coming up in the critique, actually, but I really didn't like it when they were talking about her makeup, and then she was, like, going, ooh, faces. It's like, you're already painted going, ooh, you don't need to then do it. It's like when I had my lips done and people were like, let me see your lips. And I'd like start pouting. It's like, no, they want to see what they look like without you trying to add to it.
And also, they are literally full of, is it Restylane? No, whatever.
Ritalin.
And then we finally get to see Beastenders. I thought this was fucking great.
It was good, wasn't it?
And I'm so happy that we finally get an acting challenge that is like kind of like jokes. Like the jokes were there and it was well written and it had good characters in it.
Yeah. Although it did make me slightly bitter that they cut Lawrence together so well when she was so crap, actually, at the time.
Well,
I mean, it's good for everyone else, but it's not good for everyone else who's getting judged by Rue when Rue is just in the final product.
But I would have rather had that and not, like, maybe I would have felt different if one of my angels had gone home because of it.
Yeah.
But I would have rather had a more cohesive, well done final product by cutting all of his bad takes together. I thought Bimini was, as bloody per, really went for the sweet spot in this of, rather than just giving you like absurdism, read your blue hydrangeas of this world. Do you know what I mean? Like someone who just goes like all out like mental and you're like, I don't understand what you're saying. I don't understand what your choices are, but I'm just going to laugh because it's crazy. Rather than doing that, she goes for like heightened realism. Like she showed up for work. She was like, I'm going to work. I'm going to say the lines in an honest way. Like she was super fucking funny. But she was still giving you heightened dragness. Do you know what I mean? But I just thought it was a good performance.
Those facial muscles of hers were working overtime. So much face acting, so much stance acting. She must have been exhausted after.
Oh, it's physical comedy, honey.
Yes.
Very physically dexterous.
Very physical.
Yeah. And I thought she was really great. As soon as Taste came on, I went, get out. You are way too beautiful to be on set of a soap. They don't have faces like that on a soap.
I felt very unfortunate about her wig choice. The fact that it was constantly getting in her way and she was having to move it all the time.
And I thought you could have just got to bead it and just for the hour.
You could have just worn one of your very many sleek, straight wigs.
I think she was trying to look a bit absurd, look a bit cartoonish. I thought that Ellie Diamond looked like Pearl. You know, in that acting challenge that they do, like
the hoodie up.
Yeah. But when she's playing like the old person in that family scene, the pillhead. I thought she was, her face really looked like Pearl. Then I thought that's a show.
The pause before Lawrence said try me, is enough for a BAFTA. I was like, okay, bitch, okay. And actually watching it back, I think I would have preferred, I think the Phil role was the best role.
Yeah. What about Bimini's jump with that slap? It's like she was going for gold in the gymnastics Olympics. She literally, again, physical comedy, A+.
How many
Absolutely
spins did you
so
do?
good.
720 rotation.
We need to talk about the fact that Tace's wig, by the end of it, was hanging on by a thread. It was like basically glued to the back of her neck. There was so much hair on show. I was like, you're lucky that this is ending now, because if there was one more scene, scalped.
Well, she like yanked it forward at one point, didn't she? She deserved that. Yank. So, zingers and mingers.
Les zingers and les mingers. So for my zinger, I put Bimini's cat Slater wig. I imagine it was a hard front. That PC cat. I would like to see that on a lovely fashion outfit. I absolutely loved it. That's not from the runway, but I don't give a fuck. What about yours?
That? Your zinger?
That's my zinger. Yeah.
My zinger was Tace's Fairy Tale Princess Paris wig with the sparkles.
That does need a. That's very you though.
I do like sparkles.
Although I don't think I've ever seen you in an updo. An updo. We need to make that happen. Let's talk your minger.
My minger was Bimini's
Cat Slater wig.
Yeah. I was going to
you.
slash it with the Phyllis wig, but I would rather wear the Phyllis wig than the Scat Slater.
My minger was, even though the wig itself was absolutely fine, my minger was Lawrence's waves, just because I thought it.
You've got no place being here.
Yeah, I just thought it would be absolutely fine on any other runway, but it just didn't fit with Dame for me.
No.
It wasn't actually a minging wig at all. It was just not fitting with what I hoped she would bring to the runway.
Sure.
Then we head back into the critiques. Now, full disclosure, Feet Sam Smith, I actually don't care about the critiques. every time, because they're just getting more and more sort of disparate and like they don't really make sense. Every time it comes back to the critiques, I'm like, oh, just fucking tell us. Michelle Visage being like, oh, you should have made it more of a Karen character. It's like, that is the reach heard around the world.
Well, no, that's obviously the whole joke. Her name was Karen Mitchell, and the first thing she says is, can I speak to the manager? So...
Oh, that...
Take it back.
Completely went over my head, to be honest. I was like, I felt like that was the first time I was hearing that. I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense. But, okay, yeah, sure. And then we head backstage for Untucked. Thoughts, Luki?
Little Tacey's feeling it, isn't she?
We're all feeling it. I feel exactly the same as Tace. I don't understand. I feel like they've created a narrative for her where, because she is so beautiful and because she's so exquisitely turned out, that they keep on like just underestimating everything she does. Like for Michelle to be like, oh, I'm so surprised that you were really good. It was like, she has been fucking hilarious. Like a lot of the time that she's been in the bottom, like it was not deserved. And they keep on, they're like so surprised by her doing anything that's not her being gorgeous.
Well, yeah, it's like with a horror. Why, if you're beautiful, do your other talents get forgotten about? Like when Rue was like, oh, maybe you'll be funny this time. It's like, I've shown you comedy twice. You just forget it because all you see is beauty and you just assume all I can do is beauty. Like you literally ignore all the times I've proven to you I can do other things.
Exactly. And it's almost like, say like with the comedy challenge, like both Tace and Ahura were good.
Yeah.
But and
in Snatch Game as well.
The whole narrative, it was that they were like, oh, we were actually really surprised. Like, we didn't think you were going to be any good. And then I suppose maybe because Ellie and Lawrence don't bring it visually like them two do, that they feel that they have to really sort of pull up their comedy and be like, oh, yeah, actually. Like, I don't know. It's just, again, it's like, this judging is very reminiscent of Canada's Drag Race, where it's like, it's all very confusing. And maybe we're not seeing the full picture. Maybe if we were there, then it would make more sense.
But also, when it gets to this point, like the girls are all really good and they have to be nitpicky. Like it's their job to find something bad to say, isn't it?
But she's definitely being boxed in as like a fashion girl. And so they're like, oh, the look's always on point. And every single week they're like, oh, you're gorgeous, but...
Yeah.
What about when Ellie was like... well, actually, when Lawrence fluffed up her lines, I was like, oh, hen, shut up.
Like, pass the parcel. Tace is passing the blame onto Ellie. Ellie's passing it on to Lawrence.
I just thought you've literally only just made up and now you're like, actually, it was Lawrence's fault. I was like, pick your battles, honey.
I mean, I get that is going to be distracting and it is going to, like, confuse you a little bit. But, yeah, like, you've literally only just won them round, if you even have done that.
And I had that pit in my stomach again. I thought, oh my fucking God, if Taste is in the bottom, heads will roll. Heads will roll. And the winner this week was Musbimini Bomboolash. I thought, just give her an EGOT already.
All right, question time.
Go on.
Who else has had 4 main challenge wins, including Bimini? There are 6.
6?
Yeah.
Fucking
4
hell.
in the normal seasons, 2 All-Stars.
Okay, for All-Stars, would it be Bendela?
Nope.
No. I thought she smoked it. Alaska?
Yep.
Shangela?
Nope.
Trinity?
Yes.
It would be someone that smoked the competition. So Sharon?
Yep.
Jinxie?
Nope. I think you've had plenty of guesses now. So the remaining 2 are Shay in season 9 and Gigi Very Good.
Really? I would never have thought about Gigi. But fantastic.
Lawrence is safe, which means that Tace and Ellie are the bottom 2 and they must lip sync.
How did you feel?
I knew it was coming. I could sense it in me waters.
Yeah. The only thing that was ever going to release some of the terror and fear about this was when the music started. I text Luki straight away being like, when you hear what the lip sync song is, you are going to pass out. You tell him why, Lux.
I think I've mentioned a couple of times, I'm a big fan of the steps.
Big fan of the steps.
As soon as I heard that little samba drum come in at the beginning, I had to pause it because I was too overexcited. I screamed and paused it and then went to the text and then saw that you had been like, you're going to freak out.
We have been begging for some British royalty to be the lip sync, and they did not disappoint.
Well, just the other week we were demanding we see steps on the main stage, and here we are. I think we are the positive change that we like to see in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. But big shout out to who? I mean, I know this, but tell the listeners of the pod, who's your favourite Steps member?
Lisa Scott Lee. I think I like her because when I saw them at Top of the Pops, we made some nice eye contact. But really, just love all the gals. I mean, even love the boys. I just love them.
I absolutely love Photosa. Just can't.
Photosa.
Photosa. Cannot get enough of her renegade hair choices.
Truly. Thoughts on the lip sync?
Okay, so I obviously watched this entire lip sync through tears. So, but I thought, personally, if I was going to do a Steps lip sync, I would be giving you early 2000s, band moves, and I would make it cheesy.
Where, Steps are the gayest people in the world. Where was the camp? Where was the cheese? Where was the fun? Where was the choreo?
Where was the Claire
head,
nose scrunches?
Thank you.
That would have been the first thing I would have done.
If I close my eyes and think of the chorus, straight away it's got disco fingers.
Yeah.
How can I describe disco fingers?
There are low level hip points.
It's either that
shimmying.
or a disco turn at the hip. But it's come on, girls. Maybe because Ellie is born in 2015.
Yeah, does she even know who Steps are?
Wow, I'm going to take her gay card off her if she don't.
You, a pan woman, sure, okay.
I just thought...
I'm not going to... do you know what I wrote next to Ellie? Oh, I don't want to be nasty on the pod.
Sounds like she's going to be nasty on the pod, guys.
The rumours are. I thought the performance was a bit regional.
Do you know what I thought about Ellie's performance?
What did you think about Ellie's performance?
That's not a person hearing music and dancing to it. That's a person who has seen Pose and Legendary and Ballroom and is just recreating.
Ballroom?
Yeah, all she's doing is duck walking and stuff like that.
I didn't notice.
I feel like that's all of her performance is just gay dance moves, the Miss Cracker, just all the none of it seems authentically what she wants to do. She's just doing these are moves that drag queens do.
What do you mean gay dance moves? They're just drag moves.
Well, that's what I mean. But it's Taste doesn't. Taste just dances how she dances. She doesn't have to rely on doing these classic drag moves that we've seen on Drag Race
TikTok
over
thing.
Yeah, exactly, the TikTok thing.
I 100% agree. I think that's such a good... that's such a good articulation of what the problem was. I think a good drag performer will dance and entertain the audience, sure. A great performer will listen to the song and give you a completely different performance too. I need to see an entirely different queen from their Steps performance to their Ariana Grande performance. Do you know what I mean? And she was just performing. You could have switched that song to a Miley Cyrus song and it would have been the same performance.
She's probably doing the same in memory.
giving you a sassy little boom cat at the back of memory.
I just thought it was too joyless for Steps.
Exactly. Like there wasn't. I'm not a cheesy queen. I'm not like a show. Like I'm not a tits and teeth queen. But if the song calls for it, then you're best to be giving it. Like that's the spirit of the song. Do you know what I mean? Like steps aren't there like giving you hair flips and like it's not sexy.
Simple, basic choreo you can learn at home.
And it's butlins. It's not sexy, is it? Like it's well, I mean, Faye Tozer just can't help herself giving sex. You know? If it's in your blood, it's in your blood. But yeah, I didn't really feel. I felt it a bit more from Taste because Taste gives you like Taste's stage presence is like affronting. Like as soon as she does anything, like she knows her body so well that like she's very musical. Whereas I didn't think, like I said, Ellie's performance wasn't musical at all. It could have been any song.
Yeah.
Whereas at least with Taste, like she wasn't giving me joy and happiness. She wasn't giving me, I thought, the right style. But she at least like hits all of the music points very well.
Yeah. And those samba drums have been giving you a lot of points to hit.
Yeah, absolutely. Special mention again to Lawrence Chaney in the background, the original Pointer Sister, just giving you like drunk mum at the pub in the background. Just
but
like,
that's the vibe.
Yeah, innit? She goes so... I felt a bit cheated. I was like, hold up. What I really fucking want to see here is Lawrence Chaney and Ginny Lemon duking it out in the steps. Because that I feel like they'd be able to give you the right energy.
Yeah.
And...
Do you know who'd be able to give you the right energy?
Who?
Me.
I feel like I think that I'd be able to give the right energy, but maybe I'd watch it back and be like, ugh. No, like, fuck it. I would be able to. I'd have a couple of liveners backstage and I'd be going wacky for the girls. So then it ends up being a double save. Luki, thoughts?
I'm going to have to get better because I'm bitter at the moment.
We have been waiting for that for a long time, though.
Like...
That's you getting better, not the double save.
Sure. The fact that you let a horror slip through your fingers, like, looking at this, if anything, it should have been a double elimination.
Send them all home!
I don't think. Like, there's obviously, like, in their production notes that they want a 4 for the top thing, but it's like, why has that got to be coming down on a horror's fault?
It was a weird one because as a lover of the drags, as a lover of the show, like, it was strange because I thought, when the decisions are made like this, do you remember the first time, a bit of trivia for you here,
fuck.
When was the first double save?
It can't have been Alyssa and Tati because that's All Stars 2, so that would have been much later.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. In the meantime, while we're thinking of it though, has anyone survived more lip syncs than 4 lip syncs? I was trying to look on all the fandom things and I couldn't find anything. So I think maybe Tace is the first person to survive 4 lip sync for your lives.
The first person ever.
I think so.
So have you given up on who was the first double Shantae ever?
Yeah,
It's a bit of a... It's a bit... the first double Shantae in history was Drag Race Season 3. Can you name who it was?
Drag Race Season 3.
We're talking Raja as the winner. Yara Sofia and Carmen Carrera were both saved for the Spanish version of Hey Mickey.
Really?
That's what it says.
Oh, Mickey.
Most importantly, I actually have a list here of all the double Shantaes that have ever happened. The first double Shantae was Yara Sofia and Carmen Carrera. On season 4, Sharon Needles and Fifi got to stay.
Oh, because Willem left.
Exactly. So that was a bureaucratic double save.
That's not a double save.
Then... the next double save was Whip My Hair.
Oh, of course, yes.
Yeah. And then on season 6, oh my God, on season 6, Darian Lake and Bendela Creme got a double save. So is there like one every season? This is mental.
That must just be Tic-Tactical because they had so much beef.
Pharamone and Cynthia Lee Fontaine both got to stay because
what's her name, broke her knee.
Yeah.
Eureka.
Season 10 had 2 double Shantaes. First being Eureka and Cameron Michaels to New Attitude, and then Aquaria and Eureka.
Yeah.
Oh, in the
final.
semi-final. And then another absolutely legendary double Shantae was season 11, Evie Oddly in Brooklyn Heights.
Oh, that was great.
Absolutely fantastic. Up there, really in the pantheon.
Just so gay.
And then Heidi N. Closet and Jackie Cox.
Forgettable.
Alex Newell's Kill the Lights. And then Candy Muse and Simone. I feel like a double Shantae. First of all, I did not realise that there were so many. There's basically been one every single episode. I feel like a double Shantae should happen every so often. We're talking like Evie Oddly and Brooklyn Heights. Both of them were fucking fantastic, of course. We're talking Alyssa and Tatiana. Of course, they've both got to stay. Do you know what I mean? When it's a moment when it's like, okay, these two queens.
Like, how could you possibly decide?
Yeah. Anyone that follows the Truffle Pigs, you've seen who the Truffle Pigs are supporting. Personally, I am Team Bimini with Team Taste Rising. I believe that if we're going by the stats, if we're going by our truffles from all of the show, it has to be Bimini. But I think Taste has brought beauty to the Drag Race stage like we've never seen before, and I love her, and I think she's a fucking great role model. Actually, they both are. I don't even know why I'm blabbering on. Just crown them both.
It was a simple question. I don't know.
Double crown them both. It's because I fucking care about the girls, Luki. So take your thesis.
Not the thesis. I thought I was Team Bimini until it scrolled along down and Taste just flashed that supermodel smile at me. So now I'm all up in the air. I'm confused. I'm straddling.
Okay, Luki, let's talk Season 3 Dreamcast.
For my Dreamcast this week, I'm going to go Mocha Drag Queen.
Oh, little Mocha.
Mocha?
Who knows? Is that the American?
She has the power of God and anime on her side.
Oh.
You probably recognise her crazy, cartoonish anime eyes and paint.
The fantasy.
Just always giving you the wacky looks, but always giving you the beauty as well. So much variation despite having like a really cartoony look.
And won a good gal power for Ahura. She was in her, do you remember her Wizard of Oz photo shoot? I believe she was in that, wasn't she?
Yeah, she's just great. It's mocha.dragqueen on the Insta. Give her a follow.
My Season 3 Dreamcast this year is, she's the balmy beauty of Brighton. She is Ms. Anubis Finch. And she is, did you know this? She's an English Egyptian Queen of the UK.
Lovely.
And I just love her drag. She is always giving you, she's a songstress, she's a performer, but always giving you real beauty. And I think as well, she is super young as well. Maybe it's just that gorgeous little face. But definitely go check her out. She's called Anubis Finch, Anubis Finch, on Instagram. And she is just a super exciting queen. She's also a Truffle Pig princess, shout out. And she actually always gives you fucking gorgeous wigs. I believe she gets a lot of wig chapel ones, and so they're super sculptural. Just drag from a really unique perspective, and I think you'll love her. So go check her out. Go show her some love. Go drop some fucking love on them photos of Mocha and Anubis, and tell them Cliffhangers sent you.
Next week is Ellie Slenderman.
Are we going to address the donkey tail in the room?
Donkey tail?
Did you not, in them trousers?
Oh, what I could look at was just like how sort of 93% of her body was legs.
And the other 10% was donkey tail hanging dong.
Well, I've done a screenshot of the Slender Man so we can zoom into the donkey tail.
Please, Tace in her rehearsal mullet.
Into it.
Very into it. We don't wear mullets in rehearsal enough, I don't think.
No.
Like a lovely just sort of...
Just a loose goose.
Yeah, very into that.
I'm very happy that the final thing is a song and dance number, which does bode well for our honeys.
Absolutely. But the most important thing to happen this entire episode, maybe this entire season, is the return of Ginny Lemon.
Her fucking face.
Did you see what she had on her feet?
No, I
She has plastic fish on her feet.
Oh, what, those AliExpress slippers?
Yes. That is what she is wearing. And then some sort of like tweed waistcoat. I don't even know what she had on her body. Mm-hmm. I think that she is possibly the greatest drag artist that we've ever, of our time.
I just love seeing all the old girls back again. It's exciting to see. Yeah. What have you done? What are you wearing? What's your face like? Have you changed?
What work have you had done?
Yeah.
I hope someone has had who's had the craziest plastic surgery journey? I mean, Trini.
Oh, in total, yeah, probably.
Yeah. I'd love to see a full Trini and Susanna makeover. But very exciting to see all the girls back.
Yeah.
And they always seem so hot. I was worried that Ginny wouldn't come back because obviously she wasn't invited back for when they all returned before.
Well, that was to win a place back, though.
And the return of Veronica Green.
Oh, was she there?
Yeah, she was.
Oh, lolly. I've seen on the interwebs that she might not be returning for season 3.
What? Why?
I don't know. I just read the headlines. I don't read the body.
I ain't got time for that. I'm a busy woman. Interesting. So very excited for next week and the final episode.
Oh,
Can you believe?
Rose and Thorn.
Okay, so for my rose, this is a bit basic, but you're basic. Was Beastenders. I just thought finally we're getting an acting challenge where they get to be funny, they get to be great characters. It's fucking great that it's Beastenders, and I was really happy for the girls. I thought that will go down in the pantheon of great challenges. You?
Steps on the runway.
Of course. I feel like we spoke it into existence though.
Yeah, they deserve
God,
it.
the power we have, Luki.
No.
Unbelievable. I told you, they're clearly listening to this pod. And then your thorn.
My thorn was the ill times double save.
That
Left
was
a
also
bad
mine
taste
as
in
well.
my mouth.
I put sore about the double save, and it's because, let's be real, I had to watch a horror go, and I can't remember whether we touched on this earlier, but it's worth saying now. Like, a double save is such a fucking moment that it needs to feel justified. It needs to feel like, do you know what? Them two girls were so fucking good, and that was not what happened this week. So then
it left
just
me on
feels,
a downer,
and it just feels a bit like production then, and then it feels like, okay, maybe this isn't that fair. Maybe this isn't like that they're actually not making decisions based on talent and creativity. Maybe it's based on like what will make the show look the best.
Yeah.
And what that should have fucking been is a double save last week and then gotten rid of someone this week.
Yeah. I concur.
So I'm a bit sore about that. But this has been the semi-final. So that means next week we are going to be hitting you with the final episode, maybe, of Cliffhangers, season 2 Drag Race. And so I guess until then,
Bye.
see you later.